Blue Kool-Aid drinkers. We are back, baby. We are back and better than ever. I hope everybody had a great holiday, a great New Year. If you can't tell already, my voice is a little out of it. But I'm going to power through just like the Lions power through every week under Dan Campbell. And the Lions are so with the holiday, we're getting this is one episode. We probably won't respond too much about the 49ers game because there's a much bigger game coming up. We'll make some comments here and there about it, though, throughout the episode. But the Lions, they win over the 49ers on Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football's biggest game in 5 years, TV ratings-wise. So a lot of people watch that game. 40-34 victory. They moved to 14-2, and yet at 14-2, they still have not clinched division. They have a big game coming up this week on Sunday Night Football to end the regular season against the Vikings. We're going to get into all that. But before we do, let's introduce the Blue Kool-Aid crew that is here. I'm Big C. Let's get to the rest. We got UJ.
Happy New Year, Lion fans.
Red Dog.
Yo.
And holy cow, who's that? He's back again.
It's me. Hello.
Hey.
So we got the whole Kool-Aid crew here. We got our producer Kid J off to the side.
Minus
In a few moments, we're going to have a special guest join us to enter the Lions Den. But just I want to get everybody really quick 30-second reaction to the 49ers game. UJ, go first.
I just love Dan Campbell treating this like another game and not resting his guys, going for the win. The defense struggled a bit. That was a little unnerving, to be honest with you, but I'm not really all that concerned. That being said, our offense is just humming, man. It doesn't matter who we play. Our offense can beat anybody. So, yeah, it was a fun game to watch. It was a fun game to win, 14-2. Lions record, amazing. Good show, and I can't wait till the next game.
Got it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think starting everyone was the right move. That's how they practiced all week, so you're not going to just throw a bunch of backups in that weren't getting first-team reps. I also think it sends a bad message to just throw the game. I think momentum does matter in this league, and no one got hurt, so karma was on our side, and it was an entertaining game. I do think the defense is a bit concerning, but hopefully that just means they got their stinker out of the way, so then next week we can rebound a bit. But, man, that offense just looks beautiful.
And Red Dog.
Beautiful indeed, Connor. 4 players with over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. The first offense in NFL history to do it. This team is freaking awesome. I love every bit of it. You know, defense was a little soft this game. Who cares? We got the dub. Kirby Joseph stepped up big when it mattered most. What a stud. I love getting the dub. I love not, everyone keeps saying doesn't mean anything or something about the game, and I just think it only means that it only makes sense if you are talking about numbers and like extra things you could win, but every win matters in the NFL. It matters to win, and Dan Campbell wasn't going to do anything but win, and that's what he did, baby. So bring on Minnesota.
Yeah, I thought it was just a really fun game to watch. The Lions offense just continuing to soar. The last 4 games, 34, 42, 34, 40 points. They are full go. This is the time of year where the Tom Brady always said, this the last 5 games of the season, really, do you truly know who you are as a team? And their offense, we truly know what it is. And it is, I think, the best in the NFL. This is a 49ers team that was playing extremely hard. They really wanted to win this game. The Lions still didn't let them. And, yeah, like you said, Kirby Joseph, just a beast out there. And he is hated. I don't know if you guys saw the Pro Bowl thing. Maybe we could comment about that later. But we'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. But Kirby Joseph specifically was voted number 1 safety by the fans in the NFL. But that's a third of the vote. The other third is the coaches and the other third is players. He didn't even make the Pro Bowl. He's the second alternate. So I think he's hated by the players on other teams and coaches alike just because of his style and personality. But we love him. And
the Vikings.
I know Vikings fans hate him. We'll get to that maybe with our guest in a second. But
Hey,
what was that, Red Dog?
I was just about to say what you were. The Viking
And
fans and what was it, the Packers fans? Who else did he break out?
The Rams.
Rams.
Yeah. And the hook and ladder it shows out again in the San Francisco game. This time with JMO down the sideline. Just beautiful.
So good. So good.
And
I saw a stat. The greatest show on turf at the Rams in 16 games. The greatest offense ever in history. I think we outdid them by like 1 touchdown in 16 game span.
Beautiful.
Love that.
Sick.
So we are now
I believe
the
it.
greatest show on turf.
It was actually 1 passing touchdown.
Yeah, it
funny
was like
enough.
1 passing touchdown, but we
It
did
was like 38-37.
Yeah, crazy.
I love it. All right, so we might have more comments about that game throughout the episode, but we have our guest waiting on the side here, so we're gonna bring him in now, to enter the Lions Den.
Ooh, sucker, eh?
That is, we have Joel entering the Lions Den. Joel is a sad case. He's a Vikings fan. But we've let him in. I don't know if he's going to live or not by the end, but we'll see. Joel, welcome to the podcast, and we hope that you enjoy the last 15 minutes of your life.
Welcome, Joe. Welcome.
What's going on, fellas?
Welcome,
Happy
Joel.
to be in the Lions Den.
It says it now.
Yeah, he says that now. Yeah. So Joel, I like to ask to lead off this segment, so some of our new guests in the den. Why the hell are you a Vikings fan? We didn't know this before we even get into the game itself, because it doesn't make any sense to us or our listeners.
I'm from Minnetonka, Minnesota, near Minneapolis. I don't know if you heard of Lake Minnetonka. It's where the old Vikings love boat scandal went down 20 years ago. If you remember that?
Yeah.
So I've just been a Vikings fan my whole life, just growing up around, Minnesotans and whatnot. So pretty much the gist of it.
I'm sorry.
It's not really an excuse.
No, it's just
but,
Yeah,
okay.
no, it's a tough life. It's a tough life. But
So fate dealt you a tough hand, I see. Yeah, okay. I get it.
yeah, it did.
I get it.
A little adversity never hurts anybody. So
Do you remember Franz Harkington?
no,
Oh, okay.
I know of him, of course, but that's way before
You
me.
remember the Purple People Eaters?
Yeah. That's
right.
like my childhood.
Cool.
So Joel, were you one of the Vikings fans? It seemed like most I talked to before the season were kind of in line with their over under. I think their over under this season coming into is like 6.5, something like that. Were you more in line with that thing, or did you really think this would be a team that would be 14-2 heading into week 17 or week 18 for a chance to win the NFC North and number 1 seed?
Yeah, 14-2 is. I definitely didn't predict that, but I think you're correct. The line being 6.5, and that seemed a little bit. Kevin O'Connell, elite coach, Justin Jefferson, all these weapons. Like, I get it. Rookie quarterback was what was going to be the deal, but selling us a little bit short. Being completely honest, I thought maybe 9 wins, 10 wins was going to be the cap. I thought it was going to be like a half rebuild year. See what we got with J.J. McCarthy. Then obviously he goes down with the meniscus. And then the magic of Sam Darnold has unfolded, and it's been a wonderful ride. Let me tell you what.
So is he the main
Yeah,
difference?
talk
I mean,
about
it's
strength
one
and
guy. So is it one guy that was the difference in this surgence of you guys this year, or is it? What do you think?
I mean, if you want, in my eyes, it's 2 guys. It's Sam Darnold and Brian Flores. I'm not too much of a X's and O's guy, but the way he's got that defense flying around and the boys just make play after play after play, it's been special to watch this year.
Oh, so it was J.J. McCarthy that was expected. See, everyone kept telling me, it was like, oh, they knew they had Sam Darnold. You guys were not expecting him to be this, right? Like in any way, shape, or form. Like Sam Darnold.
I think Sam Darnold was always supposed to start the year, though.
Was
like
he?
with J.J. McCarthy taking over later.
think
That was
so.
always my thought.
Oh.
JJ sitting here made sense.
Well, Joel agrees with me, so you guys can suck. But with that said, you think your boy Sam's going to be able to get it done this week against this fierce Lions defense?
Fierce Lions defense. You got 13 dudes on IR.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think you're underselling it.
I think
It's like 19.
It's like 18 dudes. Yeah, 19.
I mean, I know it's going to be a barn burner. I'm calling it's going to be like a 42-35 shootout. It's
Oh,
gonna come
man.
down to the nails, and I'm excited. I don't think I've ever been more excited for a regular season game. This is probably the biggest regular season game of my life I've ever seen.
Wow, so it
It's
sounds like you have the biggest letdown of your life.
I mean, it's one way to spin it, but I'm stoked.
All right.
I mean, who really stands out in this Vikings defense? Give us some names here. Who's really standing out? Who we should be looking out for? I mean, in the first matchup, I mean, the Lions, they had a big lead, 21-10. They were controlling the game. We had a fumble, turnover. They score. We definitely can't allow that to happen again. But Jake Bates makes a big field goal, 44 yards to win the game at the end of it all. In that game, Goff only had 3 interceptions or 3 incompletions. Really good game out of him. Ivan Pace had a sack. Van Ginkel is probably the player of the year on your team. But yeah, give us some names. Grenard, obviously.
Yeah, it seems to be a new guy that steps up every week, whether it's Grenard or Ginkel or Cam Bynum or Minnesota boy Blake Cashman. He's been making some plays all season long. And then we got the vets, of course, Gilly and Harrison Smith, the hitman, who's been around forever and he's still just doing it. I think he's 35 now, Hall of Famer, lock. It's a unique defense. It's a dynamic defense. They run some confusing coverages, and it's just fun to watch the whole picture come together.
Connor, you have a question for Joel?
Yeah, would you say that Hawk is the second best tight end in the NFC North?
Let's see, we got Hawk, Kraft. Probably first or second. I don't know. There's a dude down in Detroit who's not bad.
You put
Kraft in front of him?
Yeah, disrespect.
Ridiculous.
So ridiculous. Hey, Joel, I got a question too. You're a True fan, right? You're loyal, right? You wouldn't ever switch teams for no matter what reason, right? That's what I thought. So can you sing us the fight song?
This was the one thing that I was hoping you guys wouldn't ask me. Unlike Levi, I do not know the lyrics to the fight song. I can hum it for you, but I do not know the lyrics to the fight song.
Okay, hum it.
And so on and so on.
Wow, that's really impressive.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
Is that what you guys like do at the stadium?
Embarrassing.
I don't know. I had a question for Joel, but now I'm not sure he's worthy of it. That's.
Go ahead.
I guess I'll give you a shot anyway.
Lay it on me.
All right, Joel. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being that Minnetonka was to be blown off the map by a nuclear missile strike, and 10 being that the Minnesota Vikings never win a Super Bowl ever again. How scared are you of the Lions this week? Appropriate level of fear. I like that.
Two. Yeah.
He's scared.
Were you warned of
We got
this
him.
question in advance? I'm just curious. Joel.
Yeah.
I was warned of the fight song. That was the one I was warned of, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna be a phony and try to learn it one day."
I respect that.
That would have been impressive, though.
I could have tried, but it is weird.
Well, I think you're going to hear the
right,
Lions
just go off
a lot.
In a losing effort, you're right. It's not worth it.
To go off that too, though, Joel, what fears you about the Lions on offense against this Vikings defense?
Yeah, they have just got a dynamic offense. Whether it's Jameson Williams who makes those big plays, deep balls, Amon Ra who's just can carve up a D, or those backs you got. Obviously Montgomery's been out, but it seems like the way Dan Campbell runs that offense is just the next man up, and somebody's going to fill in and make a big play. And, I mean, like you said earlier, 4 dudes with over 1,000 scrimmage yards is just absurd, and Goff has just been surgical this year. He's debatably the most efficient QB in the NFL. But it's a scary, scary offense, and that's why I said earlier it's going to be a barn burner. I know the Vikings got the guys on defense to get it done, but it'll be interesting to see it all come together Sunday night.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
All All right, so one last question before we decide if you live or die. But what is your prediction for the upcoming Sunday Night Football game to decide the number 1 seed in the NFC?
Yes, sir. We got 42-35.
Oh.
Vikings win.
Oh,
Nailed by an inch down to the end. But this won't be the last time we see each other. I guarantee you. The loser, I believe, obviously a 14-2 team will have the 5 seed, and then I believe if they win the first round, we'll see each other again in the divisional. I could be mistaken, but I think that's the way it's going to shake out.
You know, I
No,
thought
it's
you were
the
making
higher
sense, but
seed
then
plays
you
the
lost me.
2, and the one seed plays the lower remaining seed. So probably not in that case. It'll probably be the NFC Championship. They'd see each other again.
Okay, well, we'll see you then. Either way.
You seem to have your marbles when you picked a good fear rating, but then you go with a score like that. Now I'm just like, he's nuts. He's nuts.
Yeah,
ladies and
I
gentlemen.
don't know where you find these people. Off the scrap heap in Minnetonka, I guess.
I guess.
Bringing the guys in the white coats.
Or on a boat party.
On a boat.
Or whatever the hell that was.
Were
Were you on that boat, Joel? Were you on that boat with the Vikings players?
It's a boat.
I would have been 6. So
That would have been concerning for many reasons if he was on the boat.
yeah, that would have been some bad parenting.
All right. Well, Joel, we've decided that we are gracious hosts here, and we're going to let you live.
Wow.
But just barely by skin of your
Did
teeth.
you see my thumb? My thumb was down.
Yeah, we were totally
Oh,
like,
you had the thumbs down.
Z must like you for some reason. I don't know.
He's a soft.
All right. Well, Joel, we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Joe.
And we hope you have a miserable Sunday night.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks, fellas.
Thanks, Joe.
Good luck.
Thanks
All
for
right,
coming
man.
on.
Good luck.
All right. Thank you so much, Joel, for coming on. So you guys, let's get into this game a little bit more.
Odd guy, that Joel. We find some odd ones here.
Yeah. So obviously, last game, the Lions, they go into Minnesota and beat them 31-29. A real back and forth game. It looked like the Lions were in trouble to start that game. Come out really slow, down 10-0, fire off 21 straight points, right back at them. Big fumble, give up their lead, not looking good. A Lions drive, they get in field goal position. Jake Bates hits his first big field goal of his career, 44-yarder for the victory. But his Vikings team, since then, they had the Thursday night game after that where they lost to the Rams, but right after that they have rattled off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 victories in a row to get right back to here. I mean, so what do you guys think? You're expecting a lot of the Lions here, especially coming out of the gates. I'll start with you, Connor. Offensively, especially.
Yeah, I think the Lions know that they're gonna have to just absolutely lock in on offense. You know, I think the whole Brian Flores fired Ben Johnson and what was that, Miami or something. That whole narrative is a bit overrated.
Yep.
But I think they're gonna dial up the trick plays in this game. I think J-Mo is gonna be heavily involved. I think Goff has been on fire the last 4 weeks. He's not just looking like a really solid quarterback. He's been looking like a quarterback that's elevating those around him. I think they're also going to have to get something good out of Gibbs this week. A couple explosive runs, really free up that passing game. That's kind of what I'm looking for in this game.
And if you remember last time the Lions played the Vikings, Montgomery got hurt early in that game, so it was like Monty was out for most of that game as well. And Gibbs had a great game, 15 carries, 116 yards, did that 45-yard touchdown run that was beastly.
Great things seem to happen when Jahmyr Gibbs gets the ball.
Right? How about you, Rud Dog? What are you expecting out of the Lions here defensively against this Vikings offense, especially with Jefferson? Jalen Naylor's been going off a little bit lately. Jalen Naylor, this is their third wide receiver. Had 4 catches for 76 yards against us last time. And then Jordan Addison has been a monster lately. He's gotten really comfortable with Sam Darnold.
Simple Z, I expect the D to get the job done. That's what AG's defenses do. You know, I think it's hard. It's always hard to guess what it's going to look like exactly. I mean, I guess I would guess people are expecting, Addison and Jefferson and Hawkinson and Naylor to put up some yardage and whatnot. And is Aaron Jones playing? Because I expect people think he'd do pretty okay. But I think our defense is going to be up to the task. I think we got enough healthy guys at the right positions that I don't know. I just think we can hold them, man. I think this defense is going to come out. I think they're going to be opportunistic and they're going to be playing harder than they've played all season, and they're going to get after them. And I think Sam's going to be uncomfortable in the pocket. I think they're going to find a way to get pressure, whether it's blitzing or whether it's the guys up front. And I think they're going to. I think they're going to hold them to not that many points.
Well, we are missing some key pieces from last time, especially Carlton Davis. And the main reason I mentioned that, and UJ, I'm curious what your thought. Are Lions going to try to mix it up with a little more zone than usual in this game, do you think? Or are we going to still stick with the man coverage, the heavy man coverage?
With the man.
Especially with this. And Hawk didn't play against the Lions either last time they played. He's back for this Vikings team.
I honestly don't see him going to a lot of zone because it's just not what they do. And our secondary is talented enough. I think we can make it a little hard on these guys, and we just have to make it hard enough. Our offense is so good; it'll overcome any defense in this league, and I mean any defense. But I don't think the Vikings' offense rates anywhere near where we are. And I know our defense is lacking right now, but all we need is a few critical stops. And it'll make all the difference in the game. That's how I think this is going to go. It probably will be a somewhat high-scoring game, and but I think we're just going to make that one or two stops or that one turnover when we need it. Because our defense is opportunistic. They just find a way, and I think they're going to find a way once again in this game.
I agree with you, Jay. Except for
this is a tough one. Do we think Terrion Arnold's going to be matched up with Jefferson throughout this game?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hell of a test for him right there on the biggest stage against the best wide receiver.
He's definitely the guy to do it.
With no Carlton Davis, who else are you putting on him?
I mean, Amik, they might try him there, but he's so short. I think it's pretty much a mismatch. I think you got to go with Terrion. Give it your best shot. So
that's going to be really fun to see him step up to that challenge for sure this week.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Without Carlton, you're gonna have Meek's a pest though. I feel like as long as Addison or one of those guys doesn't have the game of their life playing elevated ball over him, just he held Keenan Allen, he made that one good play on him, but otherwise he was all in their hip pockets and stuff against the Bears. I think he can play that pest and make it hard on the other guys. He might give up some to the big guys, but he's going to be right there fighting for it.
For sure. And I think there's also a big step up for Jack Campbell this week. Because I think in the pass coverage especially with, he'll probably be assigned to T.J. Hockenson most of the time in that pass coverage. So that's a really fun matchup as well. Yeah. Iowa on Iowa there. That's a fun matchup right there.
That's right.
Will they have cross pass? I don't know. Probably not.
I think so. I think Jack Campbell's too young.
Yeah, I think you're right. Then on the offensive side, I mean, this is a defense that's pretty healthy for the Vikings, and they will mix and match their matches all the time. Like the Packers last week, we're expecting a lot of zone out of Minnesota. They came out more man. They are less predictable man coverage-wise than the Lions are a little bit week to week. They mix it up a little more. But that has not stopped Jared Goff and the Lions going against the Brian Flores defense over the past couple of years. The last three games have been the Lions have scored 20, 24, and then 31. So they can definitely put up points against Brian Flores and this defense.
I think teams that try to out athletic those I think we're the perfect kind of antidote to a Brian Flores defense, which is we got a super cerebral quarterback who can process the field super fast and can manipulate his offense so precisely. But if you're trying to play just bang it ball and you're just gonna out man they're too talented, they're gonna mix you up, they're gonna get it all confusing for you. But Jared Goff just reads that stuff like it's the morning paper.
Yeah, and then the big news this week is I hope we have Anzalone back.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be nice.
He's a full participant at practice today.
Did you hear what he has to do?
He's got a metal plate in his
He
arm.
has to do,
Did you hear the
he has
passing
to do the
criteria
handstands, right?
to get him back on the field? Handstand push-ups.
As a Campbell said it.
Yeah.
I didn't see actually Dan Campbell say it. Was he being serious when he said it?
I don't think he was being serious.
I probably.
I doubt it.
No. So Anzalone returned to practice. It's not guaranteed he will play,
Right.
even if,
If
he's
he-
a full participant.
If
Just
he's
like-
not serious, I think he's being he's embellishing in the direction of truth, though, which is to say he's not going to play any of his guys unless they're ready to go.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Anzalone even said he's not 100% yet, and they're trying to make a decision. And I think they're going to think long term on this one, have him for the playoffs. And so I don't expect to see him personally.
I'd be shocked, but
If
maybe
he can
he's
do
there in an
handstands.
emergency type role where they run out of every linebacker manageable. He needs
Well,
to
he
come
won't
in and
be
play.
active. If he can do
Yeah.
handstand push-ups, I think he's ready to go. Then
Yeah, I
I
think
say
he'll
he
play.
plays.
All right, so I like it. Some think he will, some he won't. I mean, this is the biggest game. This is arguably the biggest regular season game in NFL history.
Yeah.
NFL
no,
history.
no two teams have played 14-2,
Yeah.
or even like 13-2, like with 16 weeks in the last
Most
week of the
wins.
season.
Most wins between two teams in a game in NFL history.
Yeah, this is insane. I expect like this to break television records. I don't know who would want to watch
Should.
this game, especially in Detroit. Connor, are you or any
I
of
will
the,
be
the
there.
crew going?
Yes.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
sister
nice.
Right.
dropped out because she didn't want to go at nighttime. So Rachel dropped out.
Oh,
not
man.
Will G.
She cray.
I don't know how I'm getting back to
What?
Chicago for work on
You're-
Monday,
you're
but this was too big to pass up.
Doesn't
I
matter.
couldn't possibly miss this game.
You'll walk back
will.
if you have to.
Connor, where you're like, she's losing her mind, and I am reaping all the
My dad
benefits.
texted me. He's Bob's in Paris right now, and within 12 seconds, I was like, "Yep, I will be there. I'll see you in Detroit." So Bob and I will be there.
Heck yeah,
I'll
man.
be there.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Be in good voice.
The cheapest ticket right now is standing room for $400.
Wow.
Very,
That's
very-
incredible.
it's
I mean,
a hot
this is
ticket.
basically
It's a
playoff
hot
It is
football. at this
straight up a
point,
playoff.
man.
It really
It
is.
literally
it really
is
is. I mean,
playoff
the Lions
football.
really need that number one seed. They need that extra bye week. Get the team as healthy as possible with all their issues.
But I just love
Um,
Campbell's message to the team, okay? Like,
Oh, me
you know,
too.
some of the coaches, they'd be a little disappointed. Yeah, maybe they didn't get the first seed. They got to play this last game and all that. But it'd be nice to rest the players. But Campbell just like relishes this stuff, and it's so awesome. I mean, he just says, "This is the greatest thing there is. I mean, this is why we play the game. This is you just gotta love that stuff." And as a player, God, how can you not love it, man? Just
It's the best.
this is why they play the game. You want the best against the best. It's so perfect. And like you said,
What-
Z, it should be the biggest rated game because there's so much on the line right here. And it's going to be awesome. I can't even wait. And Campbell is the difference, I think, in these teams. And, I mean, this team just, I don't know. There's so much of his personality. And I think they're going to win this one somehow, some way.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up the Lions' record in prime time under Dan Campbell, but it's like a ridiculous.
really
It's like
good?
80% or above.
What have we lost in prime time?
I can't find it though. It's
I
not
bet
like
you can
readily
count it on
available.
one
I saw it on
hand.
Twitter once, but
I think it's only one loss.
It might be something like that. Yeah, flexing might have been the best favor for us.
Where do people find these stats? Those obscure ones. Anyways,
I do love it, UJ, though. It's like a fairy tale. It is like, this is like why every person who loved football and plays football their whole life, like, would get, like, this is like the ultimate, like, just moment outside of like a Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't get bigger than this.
we're 9-2
It's
in
so
exciting.
primetime games under Dan Campbell.
Wow.
Wow.
oh, nice find. I like
That was
it.
as of
9-2.
December 5th, actually. So we've added one more win.
Oh, yeah.
So we're
49er.
actually 10-2.
Yeah.
Primetime games under Dan Campbell.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of the two. Oh, Cowboys, the
Yeah.
controversial ending. That's one.
Packers and Thanksgiving.
Oh, those.
That's not prime time though.
That's not prime time.
Can't think of it.
Huh. Well, think about that one, but the other one,
Yeah, we beat
it doesn't happen often. It's
10 and
not
2.
like he said.
No.
10 and 2.
All right.
Really good. Really good.
Was it the Bills?
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be a one hell of a matchup.
It was the
And-
Bills.
And, to all the people out there, I love all the Vikings fans that I know in my life. They were texting me like, "I can't believe the Lions are playing their entire team tonight." I'm like, you don't know this team at all if you're surprised that they're out there playing tonight.
I love that we
Um,
get that narrative though, because Dan Campbell has a really good point about it. He's like, okay, well, like, so you can sit 6 guys. Like, who are you gonna sit? And like, then what's that gonna do to the rest of the guys? Like, now you got to put stress on your other starters because you're sitting
Yeah.
6 guys. Like, who? What 6? Better to just have your whole team continue to row the boat in the same direction than to, like, I don't know, run it inefficiently towards the end.
Yeah, and I don't like the idea of losing rhythm either. I mean, these guys are like pretty much setting a routine at this point, which the bye week in a way hurts you. When you get the lose a, I mean, look at the college football playoff. All 4 teams that had a bye
I was
lost, and
gonna
a lot
say
of them
that.
didn't even look remotely like good out there.
No, they did not.
I
I don't
mean,
think that the Lions would take full advantage of it though. Like, I think Dan Campbell would absolutely use it to the max.
yeah,
But like,
right.
yeah, it's not necessarily a guaranteed positive, right?
Exactly. So, especially when you're going into a big game. Now, that is a short week. They do lose a day of rest. But, I mean, this team, if any, is ready for that challenge. So, having said all that, it's a big game. It's the biggest game of the year. Biggest regular season game probably in Detroit Lions history. And we are alive to be able to watch it. And we're alive to be able to make our ever famous predictions for this game. And, of course, we have 2 prediction segments. Our first, of course, is our roar of the week. That is the player or coach who we think about the biggest impact overall on the game. Not necessarily the best stats or anything of that nature. And then the second one, of course, is our world famous predictions where we predict the outcome of the game. So, having said that, let's get into it. Raw Dog, let's start with you. Who is your roar of the week?
All right. Well, there's some kind of funny like similarities between these teams with Vikings and the Lions. I think there's actually a lot. Like, our offenses are built similar on multiple explosive weapons, 2 receivers, great tight end, good running back, and a first overall quarterback who has revived their career with their current team. But I think Jared Goff is not comparable when it comes to. I think Jared Goff is a better quarterback by a good shot than Sam Darnold, and I think he's going to be the difference in this game. I think Jared Goff is going to continue to just be elite, and the calming factor, the controlling factor, the guy who just runs his team like Cool Hand freaking Luke out there, and he's going to lead this team to victory. So I think he's just going to keep doing his thing, dishing it out to his weapons, and winning football games. Jared Goff is my roar of the week.
How many yards and how many touchdown passes?
360 yards, 4 touchdown passes.
All right. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. He had 280 for 2 last time they played. He was 22 of 25 throwing the ball. So definitely achievable. UJ.
All right. This is a tough one, as always. My initial thought was Jared Goff, and then I thought maybe Jahmyr Gibbs, because our offense is obviously going to have a good day. But that being said, I think the big play of the game is to come on the defensive side of the ball near the end of the game to lock it up. I'm going with Kirby Joseph, man. Right now, he is a shark, and he's smelling blood in the water. You can see him now. He is just on a roll right now, and he is feeling it. So I think some point late in the game in the fourth quarter, you see Kirby's going to come up with a big pick to ice the game. So Kirby Joseph is my roar of the week.
I like that. I like that.
Right.
Me too.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Very
All right, let's go
nice.
to Connor.
Piggybacking off UJ, I'm not picking Kirby Joseph, but I'm picking Brian Branch this week. I think
Ooh.
there's a lot of like ebbs and flows with Kirby and Brian, and I think late in the game, there's going to be some bullshit slant route to Jordan Addison, and Brian Branch is going to show up out of nowhere like a ghost. and steal the ball and take it back 30 yards. That's going to clinch us the game. And I think he's going to have 2 very critical pass deflections as well. Brian Branch is my roar of the week.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
Brian Branch, Kirby Joseph, Jared Goff we have so far. Producer KJ.
My roar of the week, I think, is going to be
Whoa. That was a roar.
I think it's going to be Jameson Williams. I think he's still I think he's like really found his way in this offense the last 3 or 4 weeks or so, and I think he's going to continue again by having another big performance against the Vikings when they try to shade some of the coverage towards Laporta and Amon-Ra, and I think he'll get some open opportunities and make some big plays. So Jameson Williams is my roar of the week.
Oh, I love it.
All right. I like it. Nice diversity here. We got a little offense, a little defense. All right. So Bob, who is unable to make the podcast, has Sam Laporta as his roar of the week. 2 touchdowns and a solid all-around performance. So
Right.
Bob, roar of the week.
Oh, baby.
Sam Laporta. This is a tough one, you guys. This could go so many different directions. But I got to agree with Bob here. I have Sam Laporta as my roar of the week as well. Not just the receiving, which I think he'll have 80 yards and a touchdown. I also think he'll have some key blocks on the edge to free up Gibbs, and some other maybe he's the pitch man this time in a hook and ladder. I don't know, but I think he's got a really big impact on this game. Take over the middle of that defense, open up some things on the outside for the likes of Monra, for the likes of J-Mo. So Sam Laporta is my roar of the week.
Sweet.
As well. Me and Bob on same wavelength.
Love it.
All right. Let's get into it. This is our biggest prediction of the year. Our biggest one. You betcha. This is the biggest game in Detroit Lions regular season history, as I mentioned before. 14-2 going against the 14-2 Minnesota Vikings. Number 1 seed in the NFC is on the line. Yeah. If I told you that at the beginning of the season, we would all been thrilled, and here we are.
Yeah.
Although, if we were 14-2, you're like, why are we not like resting our starters or
Sure, one seed.
the cakewalk? Anyways, a rare instance where the Minnesota Vikings also 14-2, but this game is in Detroit. It is in Detroit. They're coming into the Den on Sunday Night Football this Sunday. The Minnesota Vikings, 7:20 p.m. kickoff. The Lions, depending on where you look, are 2.5 or 3-point favorites. The over/under is 56.5 or 55.5.
Oh,
I've seen that. Either way, it's really high. And this is the game of a lifetime. Game of a lifetime, as Joel, our Lions Den guest, also mentioned. So let's go around. Let's make our ever world famous predictions. And we're going to start with Connor.
All right. I think this is going to be a very intense game. But I actually feel really good about this game. Like the Bills game, I kind of had like a creeping feeling about. I don't have that here. I think the offense is going to be on fire. And I think the defense is going to be a little shaky. I'm not going to lie, but I think they're going to come up with some key stops, and I think they're going to hold them in the red zone a few times, crucially as well. I think this game is going to be 42-28 Lions. I think they're actually going to pull away a bit in the fourth, and there's going to be some celebrations. And a Brian Branch pick, like I mentioned earlier, is going to seal the deal. It's going to take the wind out of the sails. The Lions cruise through the last 6 minutes of the quarter. That is my prediction.
Love it.
All right.
Like it.
There you have it. So Connor has the Lions winning. All right, let's go to Rud Dog. My favorite prediction.
All right. Well, it's the big one, boys. This is it. And, the Vikings have been chomping at our heels all season, but this is where we finally put our boot down on their throats. We're going to go off this game, boys. The offense is going to put on a show. The defense is going to be so freaking tired of hearing all week how they're going to score so many points. They're going to score so many points. Well, guess what? They're only going to score 3 on a pity field goal at the end of the game when they lose 75 plus the PAT, and we're going to all go, that's the spirit for 76-3. 1 seed, division champs, Detroit Lions, baby. Let's go.
There
That's
you
my
go. 70,
prediction.
76-3 on a Run Dog. Run Dog, I had 54-3 or prediction. So I had half of it right. Every week I debate if you could give him the field goal or not. You gave him some respect this week.
Oh, boy.
It was a pity field goal. I'm not sure if it was respect.
But there you go. So 76-3 on a Run Dog. I'm wrong again.
All right.
You look like you're a little stressed out there. You're having a cigarette.
He's smoking a lot.
So relaxing. So relaxed. So, okay. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be a very interesting game. And the Vikings have a great defense. Okay, I'll accept that. And they're going to stop us a couple times. And that's the only thing that's going to keep us from scoring 42 points in this game. But our defense is going to give a surprise performance in this one. And I think the Vikings are slightly on the overrated side offensively. So what I think is going to happen, we're going to win this game 31-21.
Ooh.
And like I said, Kirby is going to make a pick in the fourth quarter when the Vikings are driving, getting back in the game to get within a field goal. But Kirby's going to pick it, and we're going to run the clock down or they won't have a chance. 31-21 is my prediction. And Goff is going to be wonderful in this game, as always. He is just
wonderful.
Game of a lifetime.
He is. I can't say enough great things about this kid. I mean, he's just unbelievable. Do we miss Matt Stafford at all? No.
Nope.
This guy is doing things that no one else has done ever in the NFL. I mean, and he spreads the ball. I mean, we have a lot of weapons, and the way he spreads it around to these guys, it's just incredible. Who can stop us? He has so many options. It's incredible. And let's not forget our great O-line. So anyway, my prediction is 31-21 Lions. Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Number
Let's
1 seed.
Go.
Right.
Beautiful.
I'll take it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Bob, it's the Lions winning 45-28. 45-28.
Ooh.
Tight game early, then the Lions pull away. J-Mo goes off again. So J-Mo going off, Bill Laporta as his row of the week. All right.
I want some more of it.
Connor, you
I did.
Connor,
Yep.
you went,
I
right?
said 42-28.
That wasn't it. All right. Producer
Hey,
Kid
Jay.
J.
You know, I had thought a lot about this game, and I had to consult a new text that I acquired. It is I got the gift from UJ, the pro football sports betting and record and fact book. I looked at the overall what the overall statistics were when what the overall record the Lions had against the Vikings. The Vikings are in the overall matchup went 480, 44-2 overall, with the most recent win coming with the most recent having a loss against the Lions. But you know, it didn't say in this gigantic book what happened, what the Lions and Vikings records were when they're both 14, when they both had 14 wins, also trying to go for the 1 seed and the division title. And you know, it said 0-0. And you know, when things like that happen, you just got to do one thing and one thing only, and you got to throw out the record book.
Oh man!
Throw it out of there.
Yeah, and so that
was a gift
with that. And I think it's gonna be. I think the Lions are gonna win 38-31.
Kid J is never
Yeah.
wrong.
Kid J doesn't play by the
All
rules.
right.
I love it.
Kid J. 38-31 Lions.
It's too cool.
Beautiful.
For school.
We've all predicted a Lions victory.
Crazy. Man.
It
It's
is.
a big game. It's a big game.
At that last drive,
I've been thinking
it's
about
going to
it.
be Kirby and Brian are both going to be reaching for the pick, and UJ and I are going to be like, oh my God, which one of us is right? So we're going to see who comes down with it.
Maybe they'll both hang
then
on to it and run into
They're
the
gonna
end
both hold
together.
an head and run in together.
Oh, wow. What a moment that would be.
That would be the greatest.
That would be
thing ever in
hilarious.
history of football.
this is going to be one hell of a game. I do think the Lions are going to be motivated by the most amped up crowd you'll ever see. Maybe besides the Lions game against the Rams last year, just because that was the first playoff victory in 30 years. But nonetheless,
I don't know, man.
we're talking about it before. Oh, wait. But I mean, I am so pumped up for this game. It's almost all I can think about. There's other things about it, but it's taking up a lot of brain space, and
Yeah.
I have the Lions. This is going to be a fun game, but they pull away in the fourth quarter, 34-24 victory. We all have the over, by the way.
That makes sense.
right.
honestly.
We think this is
That
going to
makes
be a lot of
sense.
points scored.
Lions get the over, baby.
I had the under.
Lions get
I had
the
the under.
over.
just saying that.
Oh, yeah, you do.
Let me
31-21. That's the under.
Yeah, that's why I
if
don't
I
like
pull it
yours.
up here. I just want to see what the Lions team total over under is in this. It's gotta be it's gotta be like 30 or something. Let's see. Yeah, it's 29.5.
Wow.
So
You have the over.
and this is against arguably the best defense in the NFL. They're over under 30. So a lot of respect. This is gonna be one hell of a game. This is gonna be so much fun, and I can't wait to send a bunch of Vikings
baby.
fans some
We
fun
could be
texts.
15-2, boys.
15-2. Wow. All right. So I think that's going to wrap it up for us here on the pod, the most fun pod of the year. Even though Bob wasn't on it, but we are going to even have more fun. I'm not saying it was more fun because Bob wasn't here.
Sure,
He
you were,
wasn't here
dude.
for it. Bob, if you're listening, we love you, and we need you here
That's
to
right.
have additional
bum.
fun. All right. But anyways, we will wrap it up here. But before we do, of course, we have to thank our producer.
Good job.
Yay!
Crushing it every week and throwing gifts behind him onto the ground. And of course, we want to thank Fanside for supporting the podcast. Instagram at Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid, Twitter /X at Drinking Lions. Or if you want to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'd love to see you on there at DTBK_Lions, or just type in Drinking the Blue Kool-Aid. You'll find us on there.
That's what we
Subscribe.
do.
We've gotten over 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hit a milestone. Let's go.
100.
So we appreciate all you doing that every week. Keeps growing. So really cool. But that's all I got.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I just want to thank our listeners. We really greatly appreciate you. We hope you had a great holiday.
Love you.
Now it's time to get into the best holiday, NFL playoffs. It's a month and a half long holiday, so it's a really fun one. The best time of the year. So we hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. We look forward to responding as soon as we possibly can. But maybe a small chance we go live after the game. So stay tuned for that. That's why I got to subscribe to the YouTube channel to react to everything about the Sunday Night Football game, the biggest game in NFL regular season history, and it's involving the Lions. Let's go.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. And last but not least, as always,
Go.
go.